All right, everyone, we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to today's PowerUp. We're going to go over the different ways that you can communicate, especially during this time period, while using RecDesk. So I'm just going to go over all the areas. The first one I want to start out with is on your programs. If you just need to reach out to your roster to tell them that you're either moving the program to a new date or you're, having pre-registration done because you're not sure if the program is going to run during this time period, you'll be able to go to the roster and to roster actions to email the groups directly. Now, when you click on it, something should happen. It should either pull open your local email, or if you're using Outlook, it should pop open an Outlook email. If it does not, and there's a couple of things that may be going on. One, you may just need to make a quick connection to link your email with the system. And if you're using Google Chrome, there's an extension called Mail 2 that you can download. For those of you with Outlook, if the Outlook is not popping up and it doesn't seem to be importing all the email addresses, you may have hit a character limit that's automatically set within Outlook. The way around that is to go to Roster Actions, Display Copy Email Addresses, and copy and paste these to your email. This is going to allow you to override the automatic import character limit. Now keep in mind you can email rosters, people in memberships, as well as your entire league. So if your league is also being rescheduled, you can go to the league and go roster actions from here and email as well. Now we also have this text all or display copy feature. Now when I hit the display copy, this is how it's going to look for those of you who did not sign up for a third-party provider for bulk text servicing. It's going to send it like an email to your member base. If you sign up for a text provider and connect it to RecDesk, you can text the participants and it'll look more like this. Keep in mind, you can send more than 160 characters when you send it this way versus through regular email. And on top of that, the third-party provider allows your members to also text you back. Now, for those of you who may prefer to still use regular mail versus using emails or email campaigns, you can go to your members list, and if you hit apply search, it'll show everybody, so please keep in mind you can filter this if it'd be more helpful. But you can click on Actions and export to Excel. And from here, you can select the items that you need in order to run a mail merge. So for those of you who need to print labels, please keep in mind you will need to pull this information to Excel to set up your mail merge. For those who would like to send email campaigns, under the Member tab, we have bulk email campaigns. Now, for those of you who have not already asked for this, every one of our customers gets 20,000 emails included through this service, included in their price. But we do need you to email us to tell us that you would like to use this feature. So if you do not already have this connected, or maybe you need more during this time period, please email support@recdesk.com so that we can get an account set up for you. And then we want you to click on Create New Campaign, and you'll be able to create the campaign name. You'll be able to schedule a time for it. So you'll be able to say schedule for later, maybe something that you still need to discuss between the staff and the mayor or any of the powers that be, so you can't have it go out till Monday. So you can schedule this to go out on Monday. Keep in mind, anything scheduled, you will be able to come back here and edit it up until it stages to send. Once it starts to send that email, you won't be able to edit it. You'll be able to put in additional twos, CCs or BCCs. It's a good idea to email yourself or somebody within the organization as well. That way you guys are also getting notified when the bulk email goes through. And then you'll want to put in a subject line. Some people, they just like taking the campaign name and copying and pasting as the subject line. Then you want to select your recipients. So when you select recipients, you can hit Apply Search to see everybody, or you can hit the Show Advanced Options if you want to filter. So if you only want to email people above a certain age, choose a date of birth that you want them to be older than, and put that information here. You can also filter by certain program types, memberships, and when I mean types, I mean words within the program or words within the memberships. And once you have that filtered and you have your list of members here, you'll scroll to the bottom to Recipient List Actions so that you can use either a primary email address or primary and alternate email addresses. I always recommend the primary and alternate email addresses because with dual families, what will usually happen is the primary email is the primary household that a child may stay with, and the alternate may be the secondary household, the non-custodial parent, or something along those lines. So it's good to choose both. And remember that this recipient list, the amount of unique email addresses, may drastically be different than the amount of members that you have. And the reason for it is likely because of families that share the same email address. I use the example of when mom or dad makes their household. If there's 5 people in a household, then that's one email shared between 5 members. And then you can come down here and type any information that you'd like out for the body of the email. And something I'm going to point out are the few tools I like to point out to play with are the Click Here feature. So if you wanted it to be a clickable email or a URL, you'll want to copy your URL, type the words you want to be clickable, and click the Insert Hyperlink icon. If you want it to be an email, choose Mail To and type the person's email address. Otherwise, paste the URL that you want it to link to and hit OK. Now, one of my new coworkers, Tom, created this awesome new spreadsheet that I'm going to show you all a little bit of today because we did hear from many of you that using Flickr or other sources to get an embed code was just far more complicated than you needed it to be. So we've been working on looking at other sources and other resources. So this postimages.org site is another URL that you can use to host images for you. And this is something that is a safer site to use. Schools, in fact, use this as well. So and if you're going to post images at all, I do recommend you create an account for yourself so that you can always delete them or have control. Now, you can either choose the image here or drag and drop, and keep in mind you can drag and drop multiple images. And they give you a lot more information down here. Now, this is the spreadsheet. Now, I have a pre-made sample, but I'm just going to explain the information on here. This image width set to 100 is going to make it so that it's responsive on your computer versus a cell phone versus a tablet. This other width is the same thing. However, the difference between the two is this width is something you can adjust because he set it up so that you can do a table to set up 3 photos going across. Now, this is set up just as a simple 9x9 template, so please keep that in mind when you're going to build. And all you'll want to do is on Post Image, where it says Direct Link, this is the area that you want to copy, and you'll want to paste it right here. The image description is also something that is really important. It is something that the reason why it's important is because of ADA. And those of you who may be using User Way, so that those of your members who may need the screen read to them versus being able to read it themselves, that it's going to read this image description. So it'll tell them that there is a photo of Brian when it reads what is on the screen. If you do not put an image description and somebody uses any of the ADA tools, what will happen is it will read the entire URL for where the image is hosted to your ADA members. So please keep that in mind. But the width area, see how this one is set to 50%? I have it set up so it'll be 1 photo on top and 2 on the bottom. And once you have your setup, now you could just do 1 if you would like to just do 1. You'll just copy the code that's down in the bottom. And within your bulk email, if you click on HTML, I like to hit enter a few times, you can paste that. And if I go to the preview, I'm going to be able to see the photos. Now, I do recommend that you send a test email to yourself, especially if there is a clickable link. We have heard of some instances where the wrong URL was inserted on those links, and it was not realized until the members got it. So we laugh about that now, but in the future, just be careful and make sure that you're sending an email to yourself before you hit the save for send. Now, because this is scheduled for later and I know it's going to take a few minutes, I'm going to hit the save for send right now. So you'll be able to see any photos or flyers, or if there's a hyperlink, they'll be able to click here and go to that URL. And a reminder again, anybody who does not have a bulk email provider connected to their RecDesk account, please email support@recdesk.com and we'll help you get set up with one. So now I'm going to take a head over here to our community site, and I'm going to show you 2 things. The first is this message right here on the home page. We call this code hooks internally, but basically these are quick messages that we can post across your community site for you. Now keep in mind that they're very much like this. You're just posting a message and we can only control certain aspects of that appearance. But if you need a message posted, especially during this time period, just email us and we can get that message posted for you. For those of you who do not have or may like an announcements page or a news page, or would like that to be their home page for the landing page, this is what it could look like, and this is just our demo site example. And we'd be able to give you the ability to update here. Now that same type of example that I used earlier from the spreadsheet was the one that you see right now. Now, for those of you who want to use this, I'll go into that area now. We call it content management. Now, I'm going to click edit on this announcement because I want to show you one thing with the stagnant grid or single image that you can do within our content management piece. So once your photos are posted, you can actually highlight them and make them URLs. So for those of you who currently like to have your flyers arranged in a table form, if you use this Excel sheet to help format it, same process at the end. Highlight that flyer, enter the URL, and hit OK. And then what I want to show you in adding a new announcement, so we're going to add a title, and we're going to uncheck the add date. The reason I uncheck the add date is because I don't need my announcements to be dated. If you are required to have your announcements dated, please keep that box checked off. And I'm going to show you 2 other tabs. Now, we're not going to post this one, but for those of you who have your own YouTube channel, who maybe want to embed your own YouTube slideshow and you are having issues with online generators creating a code for you, please feel free to use this tab. We just need to know the end piece for your YouTube video, and we'll be able to get that all set up within here. So you can just copy and paste the code. Please be careful with the height though. The height, as you change that, will be a single size. The height isn't going to adjust, it's just the width. And the slideshow piece. So this is the piece I want to show you all in the next announcement. So one of the things you can change is the seconds each slideshow photo shows. So you can change this. So if you want each photo to only be 1 second, you can put 1. The same steps as before. You're taking that direct link from post image and pasting it right here, typing in a description, and leaving it at the 100 here. And again, I'm just going to come over and I'm going to copy my embed code. Now here is another trick and something that we have found out, and I'm sure some of you may have found out the hard way. If you want to paste code, and you're on content management, make sure you're in HTML and paste as plain text. If you do not paste as plain text, you may pull in weird other things here, so just keep that in mind. And as a reminder, you can set an expiration date. So if you want the announcement to stay up until a certain day, you just put the date here and it will automatically will no longer be visible to the community site. Then view order. If you choose to use this is the order in which your announcements are going to go on the community page. Please keep in mind, if you do use it, it is vital that you make sure that you do not use the same view order number for more than one announcement. Wonky things will happen, and there's really no better way to word it other than wonky things will happen. And hit update once you're all ready. And sometimes we get lucky, and sometimes it takes 5 minutes for an announcement to pop up. So let's see. So we can see the slideshow working on the back end here. It does take about 5 minutes sometimes to get all the way to the community site, so you just need to be patient. And those are all the ways that we can communicate within RecDesk right now for your community members. Please remember, you can click on the Support Center here to check out any articles that we have posted. For those of you who would like to see recent PowerUp trainings, you can click on PowerUp with RecDesk or scroll to the bottom and click on our YouTube icon to go to our YouTube channel. For those of you who are still facing some situations and issues with the COVID-19 situation, please feel free to check this article out. We've got some great shortcuts for common situations that are going on right now. Or you can click here to submit a request to email us at support@recdesk.com or give us a call with any questions that you might have. Now, one piece I am going to add into this second training of the day is a feature that is not going to be available to everyone right now. It is something that is still in the works. We will let you all know once it's going to be released to the public, but this feature is called CRM Plus, and it's something that will not communicate to the public, but is going to let you communicate with your coworkers. So if you're remote right now and you need to talk with one another, this can help that process. But please keep in mind, we will let everyone know when this is going to be a full release. And what you'll be able to do is go into the notes section, click on notes within a program, membership, a facility reservation, a member's profile, a league, team, payment, or invoice. So it's pretty much everywhere across the system. And you're going to be able to make mentions and start typing the name of the person you want to mention. Now, anything before the mention is not going to be sent, but this is where you can type in, you can message them and ask if it's still going to be running. And you can mark it as an activity and hit save. And that user is going to get an email. Now, while that user's email goes through, I'm going to click on the documents. So for those of you who have been asking us to be able to upload a document for your back-end staff so that you guys know how the room needs to be set up for your reservations or for your specific programs, we added a document uploader so that you'll be able to upload a document either from your local device, a link, whether you take a photo from your camera, record audio, or connect your Google Drive, OneDrive, or Box. And I'm just going to use the same photo. But all you'll do is drop your item in here and hit upload. And anyone who has access to the director site is going to be able to go to that program and see that you've added a document and see what that document is. And they can also download it as well, as you could see. Now I'm going to open up the floor to questions. So I'm going to head into the chat box to see if I have anything going on. So Jesse is asking, will you be able to send messages to position types versus individual persons, or have to select people? Also, are you able to have them see the message on the dashboard for those staff who do not have email? So Jesse, right now the CRM Plus is something that is not available to everybody. It is something that we are looking to grow. Right now it is just to an individual person, but I can see if that's something we can do in the future so that you can email, say, tag all your associates or all your assistant directors or something in the system. And in the future, we will have more of that CRM Plus dashboard type of feature. Right now, the notes and the documents are the only two pieces of the release that are fully functional and out there. Oh, Jesse's actually one of our testers, so he's actually giving us some great feedback. So Jesse, thank you very much. We love that feedback, and I'll be sure to message that, but the dashboard I know for sure is coming. Mariah is asking that content management doesn't show an announcements tab. How do we add that? Mariah, please email us, email your customer success manager or support@recdesk.com, and we'll go ahead and take a look at that. It may have been the initial design of your site. Somebody was not asking for an announcements area. You may have been using it for another reason, so we can go ahead and add that in. You're welcome. All right, well, I will leave this open for a few more minutes, so if anyone has any questions, please feel to type them into the chat box. Otherwise, thank you very much for joining us today for today's Power Up.